So, I mean, are we ready to get into this bitch? I mean, you want me to just how to watch TV, this motherfucker?
Let's watch it. Let's how to watch it. I'm in.
Do you want to know how to watch TV? Everything on AMC, the mystery. You hear about this and you read about that. I don't want to look at Grumpy Cat. This is how to watch TV. What's that I hear? You hear the lost finale. It's not your fault that you can't see what we see. This is how to watch TV. I'll come up in network. This is how to watch TV. I'll come up in network. This is how to watch TV.
Because you're probably going to do it wrong. Otherwise,
we do it better.
Yeah, we do it better. That's what I meant to say. Welcome to How to Watch TV, The Leftovers. My name's Joel Henderson. With me, as always, Jeremy Vasaitis.
Hello.
Also, a frequent guest, Aaron Brown.
Hey.
He is also here, the bearded one himself.
Yes.
He's approaching his beard-iversary.
The beard is upon us.
The year beard.
That's a thing?
Yeah, well, I kind of just...
I think you created it.
Yeah, I kind of made it up.
I was cool with that. I liked it.
Beard-iversary? Is that
beard.
B-Y-E-A-R-D. Beard.
Meaning it's a 1 year... He's been growing his beard for a year. I just dubbed it the beard.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of cool.
That's pretty good.
Thanks, guys.
That.
I'm good at mashing words together.
Yeah.
Or creating hashtags for saving people.
Hashtag Save Shannon.
Yes, hashtag Save Shannon. In all seriousness, we usually are jokey and shit, but you should go to the GoFundMe for Shannon and save her.
Yeah,
if you can.
I feel like I should have memorized that URL.
Or created like a tiny URL one so that you could just tell people save Shannon. tinyurl.com/save Shannon.
Just go on Facebook. You'll see it's everywhere.
It is everywhere, especially if you're friends with us. You will see her. Well, anyways, this episode is episode 109, The Garveys At Their Best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the episode title was a little revealing.
Yeah. It was, and even their best isn't great.
No, that's true.
That's what we learned about this episode.
Their best was the brink of destruction, right?
Right, yeah.
It seemed good for a little while, and let's get right into that.
It seemed covered up, though. It seemed...
We start on Kevin running through... Well, the first shot that we see is that first promotional shot.
It's the same shot, but without the ribbon.
Exactly.
Right.
I saw that, I'm like, why is that shot... the ribbon. That was from all the promos.
Right,
so I don't know if they digitally put it into that shot, or if they reshot it without the ribbon.
Oh, they probably had the camera just sitting still on a tripod and...
I mean, they would have had to know that far in advance, is what I mean.
Yeah, they had to plan that out.
But
they probably did.
They may have already filmed the whole season before they even started airing the promos.
That's true.
So they could have had the footage from this and digitally put it in, or gone, let's pop the ribbon, whatever.
Did either one of you realize what time frame we were in during that first?
I had an not on that one. I mean, I
one?
knew it was early in the morning, but I didn't know what year it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I caught it right away, but Shannon and I was like, did you catch all that? And she's like, no, what are you talking about?
You mean when he was running?
Mm-hmm. Well, right at the end, right when he had his smoke, like what
year? As soon as he started smoking, I knew
first
he had
the wedding ring on, his wedding band was still on, and then also he was smoking. I'm like, wait a minute, this is the past, I think.
I didn't notice the wedding ring.
Yeah,
the smoking was like, it was the cue to me. It was like, this is like a flashback.
Well, yeah, so he's running, and then he comes up to a mailbox and just grabs a pack of smokes from underneath it. Like, that's a cool place to just stash it, halfway on my run. No big deal.
To utilize the mailbox in
Interesting, though, that's the place where he stashes smokes at the same place.
The money drop off.
The money drop off.
And
completely unrelated.
Dogs are inside of them.
Still the same thing.
You know what? That was this show. I was thinking that was another show, and I didn't want to mention it.
When the idiot gets out of the car and runs across the
that was
street.
in quote-unquote Gary, Indiana.
Yeah. That was.
Okay, that's right. That was his son.
Yeah,
that was his son.
Tommy?
Yeah,
Is it Tommy? Yeah.
Tommy the tit.
Well, on his smoke break, he sees the deer that seemingly I thought we knew from the pilot episode. I thought that was going to be the same deer.
Yeah.
At that point, it looked like the same fucking deer that he saw in the pilot.
With the sunlight streaking.
Yeah, with the fucking lens flare over its head. Like,
it looks like the Jägermeister logo.
Yeah, it did. Good call. It did. Yeah, it was very.
A horn honks, and when he looks back, it looks nothing like it did a minute ago.
Right, yeah.
The deer's gone, and all of the color.
Majestic glow.
Yeah, it didn't have that at all anymore.
Totally gone.
So what I took from that is he's losing his shit before the sudden departure. So I did figure that out at this point.
I think so too.
Because I wrote that down at this point in
Okay.
the episode, so I had to know that.
Yeah, I think he did lose his shit early.
And-
Where is he starting? That's the instance where it all started.
Yeah, maybe that
Because
is the
was
beginning of
day-
his psychosis.
That was the day. I mean, well, we're getting there.
Yeah, he does the typical "I don't smoke" routine before he goes home.
Oh, yeah.
And by that I mean the Listerine, the hand sanitizer. Like
you done
that
that?
doesn't just make you smell like a cigarette with those things on top
Have
of
you
it.
done that though?
Yes, it made me
you
think
try
of The
hiding
Wire
it?
because they just said your trademark smell, McNulty, Listerine, and
Cigarettes.
fuck no, something with a B, a drink with a B.
Bacardi.
It was something else. It was like a name, like a person's name put into a drink. I can't. It doesn't matter. But it was like, oh, this is that's your brand smell, and that's exactly what I thought of here. You're
that's
going
funny.
to smell like a cigarette that's been tried to cover up with Listerine and hand
I'm
sanitizer.
sorry, like I don't care. Who
Doesn't
you, I don't
work.
care. It doesn't. You
Doesn't
can't cover
work.
it up.
Not to a non-smoker. To a smoker,
No, right.
get
Yeah.
away with it all you want.
Yeah,
To a non-smoker, right?
Yeah.
absolutely.
So then he goes home, and this house is much brighter. Like it's a different
Totally
house.
different house.
You knew it was
It's like a mansion.
Yeah, it looks like this crazy
Gorgeous.
mansion, right?
Yeah. It's
I didn't know if that was supposed to, if they were lighting it different, and it was like, well, maybe we've just never been in that room.
I mean, dude.
that was that whole wing of.
It
Awesomeness.
seemed like maybe they don't go there. I don't know. For a second I thought, is it the same house?
Yeah, I think it's a
No.
totally different house.
Maybe it's worn itself in 3 years. You know, whatever. So anyways, he makes coffee and reads the paper as Lori finishes up some phone calls and asks how his run went, and he mentions it's too hot for October.
Okay, so we know it's close.
Yeah, and then opening credits.
Yeah.
Well, she goes, "You want
we
some
know it's-
pancakes?"
We know it's 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
the way
the first
they had
time we
her
heard Lori
faded out in the
speak.
background was cool. That's the first time we've heard her speak.
Yeah, I
the
like
way she walked up
how she
into
walks
the
up, you're like,
into
who's it
him.
gonna be?
The voice in the background. I'm like, okay, didn't it? Am I wrong, or did it sound a little like Nora?
It
Yeah.
felt like they did that intentionally
Yeah,
to
I think
throw
so
you
too.
off.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you had just heard, well, you wouldn't know Lori's voice,
Right.
So she
No.
probably made herself sound like Nora a little
Like
bit.
a little bit, like
Take
I
some
think
of
I was
her
like-
cadence
So
or
I was
something.
thinking to myself, I'm going, okay, it's either a flash forward or a flash back at this point. Like, because
Yeah.
okay, maybe Nora got in, and I'm thinking to myself, like, nah, flashback. It's got to be a flashback.
I figured out flashback when I said
There's no point
after the
to
deer
flash forward
disappeared.
at this point yet.
After the deer disappeared, I wrote down, so he was losing his shit before the sudden departure. So
Right.
clearly I had figured that out at that point in the episode.
Nice.
So we go to the opening credits. And did they seem different slightly? The beginning of it felt more intense this
Yeah,
time.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't pay attention.
I didn't really either.
When it first came on, it was just like, wow, something seems a little different on this.
Really?
Maybe
It's the same-
maybe-
I thought it was the same.
it might be exactly the
It's
same.
probably the same.
Can I go off subject here?
Sure.
Okay. Speaking of which,
Fantasy football?
did they?
Not
Not that subject.
Oh,
Did
that's
they?
way
Did
off.
they change the opener for SOA for season 6? I mean, it's the same song and stuff. but
No,
it's
they
just
tweaked it.
Yeah, they
just
always like-
enough to annoy me.
slightly
think they
different. So
tweak
it
it
is
every
because Jenna was
season.
like, I don't
No.
know. No,
Only in season
It's
3
been
when they went to
exactly
Belfast.
The same.
Well, yeah,
and then,
Belfast,
and the Irish one.
definitely.
The Irish one was different.
But then
just a
I'm
couple
talking
of
about the
times.
season 6, like this
Yes.
last one. I was
Okay,
like, this
yeah, it
sounds,
was different.
I was like, it's a little less country. It just
Yeah.
sounds a little
They
less
tweaked
twangy.
it just enough to annoy me.
Okay.
Just enough where I'm like, fucking A, why do you have to change it? It's one fucking season left
I
after
think
this.
it sounds better.
Yeah, it
It
didn't
sounds
matter
fun.
enough.
You know what, though, dude? Okay. We'll
just
get
bugged me.
We'll get into that on our
We're going to, the
upcoming
next
SOA
show after
podcast.
this is going to be Sons of Anarchy. We're going to
And
podcast
I'll
the
air
last
some
season.
of my grievances
Good deal,
with
man.
that show, and maybe you guys can talk me out of it or whatnot,
Yeah, man.
because
We can
that
do
show
a-
gets on my fucking nerves.
we can do
I'll
a
let you know.
full
I don't know why.
recap
but
one.
It really,
I'm cool
really
with that.
bugs me. Like I
guys are all
I
caught
can't
up?
even be clear
No,
why.
they're not.
I'm watching.
You're not caught
We're
up
in
yet?
like the middle of season 6. We're almost done.
good.
He told
But,
me
I
in
mean-
season 5 that he was kind of getting bored with it. I said, make it to the end
Not
of season
bored,
6,
though.
and you're not going to want to
But I'm not. I
stop
didn't say
watching.
bored. Though. I
It
annoyed.
ends with a bang.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying is
I
that.
can see it coming though.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
I
don't
know.
want you won't want to not watch once you get there. But anyways, the point is,
Okay, go
in a couple weeks we're going to be doing when the Leftovers is ending. Not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday. There's a week off. So what we're going to do next Sunday, I'm going to try to watch the whole series again.
Nice.
And then next Monday we'll meet here and just talk about the show in
Recap?
general.
Just a recap.
Just like we did with Game of Thrones after the season ended. We're just going to do a general discussion about what we think of everything.
We did
and-
both though for the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we ended up then
we
coming
did the
back
week off, and then we did the next week because there was still so much to talk about. We
Yeah.
ended up coming
Are we
back the
taking
next
the week off also, or are we coming back?
No, we're going to
with
do
the
next
recap.
week with the recap one where we
then
talk
I'll
about the show in
and
general.
I'm gonna try to.
Final
I don't know
episode.
that I'll be able to make it through the whole thing because I'm watching some other stuff right now. But I'll try to make it through some of it.
Gotcha.
And
I mean, even if you
I
watch
feel like
one
I'm okay.
a day,
right?
no big
I
deal.
think, something like that.
I just want it to be fresh again so I can think it through. So anyways, upcoming, we have How to Watch TV, Sons of Anarchy. I don't know what day of the week that's going to be on. Do we know what day Sons of Anarchy airs?
I think I want to say Tuesdays.
Well,
But I'm not sure.
more than likely we won't do it Wednesday, but we could. It's possible we could do it Wednesday night, before or after Joel Henderson show.
Gotcha.
As far as recording goes, but it won't
knock
be
it
the
all
same
out.
day of the week, unfortunately. I'd love for How to Watch TV to always be Monday, but I don't want to make you wait 5 days to hear our opinion on the episode.
Let's look it up.
No, that's too long to wait.
Yeah. So, anyways, it'll be a different day of the week. Sons of Anarchy coming up. Get caught up with that show. It's worth watching. It's not the greatest show ever.
I really like it.
It's good.
It's not the greatest show ever, but it's
It's a
entertaining.
great dramatic ride. Anyways, here we are. We've come back from the opening credits, and there was a metaphorical but literal crack in the foundation of the. That's how you took it too, right?
No, I'm sorry. It's Tuesday. Sons of Anarchy is Tuesday.
When we come back on the leftovers and Kevin's looking up at the wall that's got a crack in it.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's a metaphorical that this house is falling.
Little heavy-handed.
Right?
Yeah. Wait a minute. You didn't catch that? You didn't like
No,
that?
I caught it.
I caught
It
that
looked like
too.
a little like a lightning strike, a little bit too.
it was-
Like the,
Yeah.
well, I mean, metaphorical in either way.
I just took it as this house is
it's
crumbling.
cracked. It's crumbling. It's
Yeah.
coming down. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Jill?
Yeah, so
Completely
skippity
different.
braces.
well, before we get there, we find out that Lori.
What the
We find
fuck
out
was
that either Lori is a therapist or a therapist patient right off the bat,
So, okay, wait.
because she says I have an appointment. She didn't say whether she was the therapist or the therapy.
Good call. Good call.
Because last week I predicted she was a therapist of Patty's.
And see, you know what? That was
Okay.
pretty good, dude. Because I was meaning to ask you too, like what in the show pointed to that, dude? Because there was no
I
way
think
without
it was
you saying
what she
that,
said.
Yeah,
I
what's
would've-
her name? She said
just
that
that one
they had
thing,
talked
though.
about
Like,
a lot.
I don't know that I would have made that connection.
She said
You thought therapist right away when
no.
she said that?
It took
Like,
me a little bit, but I was thinking about that line. Why would there have been a time
Yeah,
that
that they
Lori
talked
that
about
I told Lori everything, and then there was a time that she told me everything, and to me it was
mean, I
like,
guess
oh,
if
the
you
power
put it-
dynamic flipped.
Right.
I guess if you put it like that,
I had
it
to try
makes
to
more
figure out
sense, but
why.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I
it
just
took
didn't
a
think
quick
about it
minute.
like
The
that.
questions got me there because it started with
That's
well,
good. And you know what? That's how to fucking watch TV.
Yeah.
It's
you
how
got to
watch
be
TV,
paying the
guys.
fuck attention.
Right.
Cracks
Good
on
stuff.
walls.
Good stuff, host.
Metaphor.
Yeah, so it ended up being that Lori is either a therapist or a therapist patient in the first couple scenes.
Sure.
She asked Kevin if he called the breeder, and Jill comes in singing along to her earbuds like a happy preteen with braces.
Oh, my God.
And they seem to be a happy family. That was
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
It was awesome.
That actress
It was good.
is fucking
She's-
great.
Yeah, way to go, whoever
Holy
you are.
crap, I didn't
Yes,
expect that.
Because you were
She
so
did a good
dark
job.
and disturbed normally, and in this, episode, she played it the fucking total opposite. It was great.
Yeah, I believed that she was
Yeah.
3 years younger.
Yeah, she was happy and young and just full of life and just a normal teenage girl.
So we cut away from the happy
Worried about
fucking
the pointless shit
Not-
that happens in a teenage girl's
Not
life.
choking guys next
Right.
door who are beating off. That's not normal.
Widow. I forgot about that. I
Episode
blocked the
1.
whole spin the phone thing out of my mind.
Yeah.
As a parent, you have to.
Yeah.
Throwback.
So we cut to Nora and her husband getting woken up by their asshole kids. The family's getting ready for the day, and Nora has an interview. And the husband is taking the kids to school, a.k.a. nailing the teacher.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Good, now we're even.
Nice. I totally forgot about that.
Now we're fucking even. Because
Totally
he was the
forgot
one
about
that
How are
told
you
us.
going to be the one to forget about
Who
that?
cares? He's
It's okay.
we're even again.
We're even.
So,
I totally forgot about that.
Welcome to Off Your Peg, buddy.
How not to watch TV.
So I mean, that's about all of
me
it.
back.
That was about the end of that scene. The husband acted like it was sort of a put out for him to have to do anything. He seemed like a bit
mean,
of
What
a.
a dickhead.
Oh, no, right.
Totally
Seemed
forgot.
like a bit of a is an understatement.
Well, at the
I'm sorry,
beginning, at
like-
that point.
No,
Yeah.
I looked
At
at
that-
the guy right away, and I was like, this dude's a douchebag.
Yeah, I was like,
this guy's an asshole.
I was like, they cast him right.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
He's a douchebag. They made us hate him right as soon as
Good
they come on
casting.
screen.
I mean,
After that, we went to Lori, and she was sitting at her desk, and she opens a 7-Up, which again is out of character with her always not eating anything of any substance or whatever. And she picks up a calendar, and it says it's October 13th. So I paused it on that so that I could get up and do some research because I have a bunch of calendars, and I took. I figured out which year it was.
oh.
At that moment, it was like, okay, it's October 13th, but what
Nice.
year?
Nice.
It's October 13th, 2011, a.k.a. 3 years ago. So that just confirmed it before they said it on air.
Wow.
I just thought that was kind of cool. And then it said the foot feels the ground when or the foot feels the foot when it feels the ground.
Which is just
meaning get your ass out of bed.
Yeah.
And
some motivational shit.
She seems like she was confused by that all day, though.
Mm-hmm.
Was confused by what?
Nora seemed like she was bothered by that quote.
That's not Nora. We're with Lori.
Yeah, she looks at it, but I thought that she was like.
We cut to Lori sitting at a desk, and she she rips off the thing off the calendar, and then picks it up, and I paused it there, and that's her looking at it.
Now, I want to say that Nora looks at the same calendar.
It's possible, I guess. I didn't make note of it. At that time.
I thought Nora looked at that same quote and kind of looked at like.
Maybe that'd be cool if they did.
I think it was now that you say that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think no, I'm not saying that you're wrong. Or that I'm saying that if that's the case, then they both. I'm saying that Nora saw that quote.
Because look, she's in the kitchen. There's a kitchen counter there. Oh, yeah.
Well, no, that's her clear desk. That's her glass table desk. Anyways,
okay. Well,
after that,
you guys didn't have anything planned?
it was one day before the sudden departure, and I put confirmed with my own calendar.
I saw Bill Compton.
So her phone rings, and it's a doctor. It said Dr. Singley on the phone. I paused it to see the caller ID. Lori canceled her appointment. The doctor is implying she's pregnant and almost at the abortion cutoff. And then I just put, oh, fuck, the implications. Because at that point, if she was pregnant, either she had an abortion or the baby was taken. At that moment is when I figured that out. I'm like, oh, fuck.
No, see, I didn't even catch that was...
It felt like the abortion cutoff. She's like, we're getting to that point where it's going to be too late.
Oh, yeah. See, I didn't see that at all.
Abortion's always on the mind. So
yeah, I guess.
Why?
Yeah, you're always killing babies.
Because I felt like she was pregnant. The way it was a doctor that was calling her. She's blowing off her appointment. We're getting close to the... I mean, come on, guys. This is how you watch TV.
I thought
you
cancer.
take context clues.
Well, I took context clues, and I was like, cancer. But
you thought she had cancer.
I got other things going on in my life, so I'm like, cancer.
But she had 3 years after that, and she's not cancer-ridden, seemingly.
I mean, Walter White had 5 seasons.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm just saying, I thought cancer.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, shit, she better go in there. And
I
see what's
don't
going
know
on.
what I was thinking at that point. I think I was yelling at my kids when.
Well, she then
not how to
said
watch TV.
she said she needs to talk to her husband, and then she'll come in tomorrow.
That's a poor example of how to watch.
Again,
Good deal.
I have to talk to my husband, and she made it sound as if she hadn't yet. So again, that's another clue to me that it's going to be something that would affect him.
I was
pregnancy.
thinking some sort of divorce thing. I don't know why Dr. Singley was like it was that they were getting divorced. Like she was thinking about getting divorced. I don't know why that came into my mind when I was thinking about that.
Cancer.
Divorce.
I was thinking cancer.
Well, so
I don't know. I guess that doesn't make sense now.
No,
that I'm thinking
not at all.
Dr. Singley doesn't really make sense.
Well, we cut to Lori, and she is a therapist. It's confirmed, and Patty is her patient.
That
Boom,
was great.
called it.
Right,
Yeah, that was
nailed
great.
it. Congratulations to the host on the correct.
I mean, that was basically it for that scene. Jill and Kevin are in the car, and Jill is a happy little shit texting.
No, I mean, are you?
It cuts back to them.
it cuts back.
That was all that was. It was just her going, Patty, you want to come in? And then she walked in the room, and then it cut to Jill and Kevin driving, and Jill's a happy little shit texting, and she shows him Rainbow Toaster Cat.
I love that.
And he says he doesn't get it, and she says, duh, Dad, and then starts
amazing.
laughing at him.
She explains it.
So I put a picture
like
of
it's a
Toaster
cat head.
Cat.
I
With,
don't. You
with
know
a
what this
Pop-Tart
is?
body.
I don't know what
Dude,
this
that's
is.
like
It's just a meme. It's
Yeah,
just
that
a
was-
thing that it bounces up and down, and
that was
I don't
a
know.
huge meme 3 years ago.
He's
What
like,
is a
what's a
meme?
meme? I knew it.
What?
M-E-M-E. It's
How
spelled
to use-
me.
Wait. How to
Meme?
use the internet? How to use the internet? Next podcast.
Yeah, it's a thing, a picture that either is like a GIF that moves, or it's static with with text over it.
I think it's more like what is that? What are you doing?
I'm playing video games. That's what I do on the internet.
Okay, well, that's a good call.
That's
But
what he
it's
uses the internet
basically
for.
Something that's like an image.
Well,
I don't entertain
Make-
myself
it
with
goes
stupid
viral.
fucking crap like that.
nobody does except for kids at that point. That had to be a kid thing that was entertaining.
He seemed that he was mildly entertained by the whole thing.
blow.
You were entertained by?
Yeah, I mean, come on, look at that.
I mean, to be fair, it is a
fuck off.
Pop-Tart
That's
and a
fucking
cat.
amazing. And look at it, it's a rainbow shooting out.
If you could have...
Take your Pop-Tart, turn it sideways, and stick it straight
Straight
up.
up your candy fucking toaster cat asses.
Yes.
Fuck you guys
Sweet.
and your toaster cat.
It's funny. Come on.
He drops her at school and tells her to come straight home to help clean for the surprise party, which she points out won't be a surprise because he knows. And Jill gives him a hug and kiss, and I felt that was notable based on their previous interaction. I know that we know it's 3 years ago now, but like it's just weird seeing how they act around each other back then. She loved her daddy, and he was the greatest guy ever.
It
And
was such a crazy character, out of character thing. It was cool to see, and good job by all the actors in the episode
She was phenomenal.
she hugs and kisses him and says he smells like cigarettes. And I just put, when will people learn? When are you going to learn that you aren't covering it up?
Cover it up.
No. You could chew gum. You could. The only thing that's going to get rid of it is to brush your teeth and take a shower.
It's got to be like
When
a day.
when
You got to have a
seriously.
day.
I could smoke a cigarette, brush my teeth, and take a shower and not smell.
My
But-
mother.
It has to be that dramatic.
I learned that when I flat out told my mom I smoked cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know, when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? And she was just like, okay.
She's like, yeah, I fucking know.
She's like, I know.
You read
Right.
the
I was like,
smoke all
how
the
do you know?
time,
She's
idiot.
like, because you smell.
Because you're an idiot.
I'm like, no.
Because you can't smell it doesn't mean I can't.
And you know, I use mint and gum. No.
No.
None of that works. No.
You're not going to be a good.
Literally nothing works.
You will get caught. if
Although
you
I
are
fooled
someone-
I fooled my dad for 3 years just by smoking with my left hand.
Get out of town.
He would only smell my right fingers. So I'm
Why
like,
would he smell your right fingers? Is that not what we should be talking about right now?
as a kid, because I could do the other things to cover it up, and if he smelled my hand and it smelled like I washed it,
Give me your fingers.
He wanted to make sure he
Just
wasn't.
your right ones.
it only happened
All right.
once.
He wasn't putting his fingers in his
He
mouth.
only asked once, and that was the moment when I decided to only smoke with my other
I think he
hand.
was like, hanging out with any girls today? Give me your fingers.
Ow. Don't be disgusting. Kevin is watching Toaster Rainbow Cat and smoking. LOL. Just, that made me fucking laugh.
I know, he's trying to get it.
Let's see. He hears a commotion from the school and goes running. It's a monster, the kids say as they're running by. Bloody, broken glass, and the music room is destroyed. And I put it's going to be the deer again, and then the teacher comes in and says exactly that. I have to stop pausing it and writing things because every time it's like, oh, yep, and that's confirmed. I'm like, oh, it's going to be the deer. Like I'm being clever, and it's literally the next line. So we cut back to the therapy session, and Patty is saying that she thinks something bad is going to happen, and she tells. Oh, I don't know why I said she tells Lori in therapy. Anyways, Patty has said this before. This is the big one, like the world is going to end. She says it feels like a hand is inside her chest, squeezing her heart, and he won't let go until it's over.
But didn't she say something else about
Lori.
tremors?
Yeah, Lori
She
was
did
like,
say tremors.
Lori,
Like, what does it feel like?
Lori,
And she's like,
Lori said, you've said
These
this
were just
before. You've said this
small
before. And she's like, no, those were just tremors.
Those were
That's
just
what she said.
small
This is
tremors.
the big
like,
one. This
dude,
is
we're
the big one.
like people disappearing then,
Oh, I don't
and
know.
just like
wait, do you
as-
think that she really has some premonition knowledge of this?
apparently?
Maybe.
What do you mean apparently? Just because
be
that's
coincidental. Could
She
be
said it.
coincidental.
She called it a bunch of times and it didn't happen before.
Right.
I mean,
So I mean that's
One
like
out of-
that's
one
like
out of so many.
Nostradamus. Do you
Yeah.
go, oh, it's true because he said 2 tall stones by a bird? You know, does that count as the World Trade Centers and planes? You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
at some
I
point
mean,
you start
like
going,
that
well,
Nostradamus stuff is awful.
Let's
vague
just all
and, like,
say no. That does not.
correct.
count.
Thank you.
Okay, Nostradamus. No.
But so if she's made this prediction a whole shitload of times and it does happen now, but she didn't even say what was going to happen.
Right.
She didn't know shit.
Okay, I understand.
She had a
didn't
bad
know shit.
feeling.
Okay, but
Lori
now.
she knew.
Okay.
Well,
All
Lori
right.
calls her out and it's like,
Yeah,
it's your husband or whoever left you.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
that's
a perfectly good explanation
Right.
for it.
It's not about Neil asking you to leave your own house.
right.
And you remember Neil, right?
Yeah, I remembered exactly what she was talking about.
The paper bag.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It said
people-
Neil
yeah,
question
remember her
mark.
writing Neil in it?
Forgot about that. Yeah.
The question mark.
Good
Yep.
call.
So,
back.
You didn't write down that quote?
she thinks she
guess
says
I
it's a he, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, "Oh, it's not about that." And she's like, "It's not about Neil asking you to leave your own house. It's Neil's house.
Nice.
You know, and he paid for it. That's
Right.
not how it works, lady.
Right.
Technically, this house is in my name, but it's Jen's house too.
Yeah.
You know what the fuck?
Oh yeah, no, there's no question.
So she
about
says that
right?
Neil was verbally abusive, basically, or more. She
Right.
insinuated that he
think-
was at least verbally
Yeah, I
abusive.
think there was more there. Probably.
And Lori says
she
it-
looked so miserable.
Yeah.
I mean, she looked.
She looked
did a great job. I mean,
beaten
kudos
down.
to everyone in this episode, except for. Can we just make note? Did Garvey just seem the exact same as always? I
Sort
think
of.
Garvey
You know
like,
when it
really
seemed,
never
when it seemed like he
changed.
was the exact same as like when they had the. I don't know that we
We'll
got
get there.
Because right.
Anyways,
At
Lori,
the motel.
when she talks about Neil being abusive, Lori says, instead of ignoring those things, you believe them. The things that Neil would say to her. So that seems very similar to how the GRs refused to ignore that the sudden departure happened.
Okay.
That wording struck me as similar.
How did we say that again?
Lori said, instead of ignoring those things, you believe them. Talking to Patty. That sounded very much like Patty saying how the GRs refused to ignore that the sudden departure happened.
Right.
Like we're thinking about it all the
distractions,
time.
And this is the only thing
It
that we're
seemed
thinking
very
about.
much like that.
I mean, when you say it like that, it's kind of like she's got a point. But I mean, at some point, you have to go on with your life, right? I mean,
Yeah, well, Patty then sarcastically suggests she should shit the feelings back out.
Yeah, that was
because
funny.
they've absorbed into her. And Lori says to put them in a bag that says Neil on it and drop it on his doorstep.
right.
That it was in a fucking bag that said
bag?
Neil ?
Do you think she actually shit in the bag?
I think that at that point that was yes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I think she really shit in the bag.
I think there was
great.
shit in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
her
great.
shit.
Whether that was symbolic, because did they drop it on Neil's door? Did they drop it on somebody's door? I
They
can't
went and
remember.
dropped it on the doorstep.
Oh,
We don't
okay.
know
I
that
gotta
it was
go
Neil's
watch
door.
that again.
That's
I
awesome,
imagine who else's door would it have been.
These are the things we'll confirm
I
next
have
week
to watch that
when we
again. All right,
rewatch.
cool.
So,
That was great.
Patty says nothing is going to stop the world ending, and Patty says she knows that's why Lori is making jokes, because she can feel that something is wrong inside you. And I just got all the baby.
Yeah,
Again,
well.
bad signs for the baby that we know doesn't exist in present day.
Damn it. I just kept thinking cancer.
Lori denies
Good
it,
call on
and
the
she
baby.
says there is nothing wrong with me.
Right.
But the way she said something's wrong inside you,
Oh.
like that,
Good
So,
call.
I mean, like, come on.
Henderson.
She has some sort of premonitions.
Maybe.
she's got a
Maybe
feeling.
if it's just bad feelings,
I mean,
whatever,
not
it's
anymore.
something. You know what I mean?
Not anymore.
yeah,
But-
she don't have shit anymore.
No.
Spoilers last week.
So let's see.
That was fucking brutal,
It's
by
empty.
the way. I didn't
Nora
get to
is
talk to you
interviewing
Don't
to help the
say
potential
that.
new mayor, the current councilwoman,
guys. Yeah.
get elected
got a
because
foul
she
mouth.
wants to use her brain for something more than seeing which juice box is organic.
She's got a potty mouth.
She's
The-
burnt out on seeing
mayor.
only little kids.
Right, yeah. She's dropped a few F-bombs.
I feel like
I feel like every time she's on screen, she says the F-bomb.
you know, being in that
Yeah.
that kind of position, she's like, whatever.
And I don't know why is it a strange thing coming from her, but she just doesn't look like somebody that should be using
No,
that
but
sort of
she's just
language
dropping it, and I'm like, whatever.
as a mayor, as a political figure like that.
Yeah.
As a,
How would you feel if Mayor Uran was just like fucking shit all the time?
I've talked to Mayor Uran
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, he
though.
does say that,
Yes, he
yeah.
does say this,
But not
that.
like in
But he
public
looks
forums.
like his father,
Really? You think so?
dude.
We're talking
I don't
about
think so.
the local mayor of
This is a
Crown
Crown
Point.
Point,
Dude,
Indiana.
the first time I ever met the guy, I was like, "You look eerily like my
Really?
father-in-law."
That's
I don't know
so
why.
weird.
like,
I don't
he-
get that at
yeah,
all. Because I knew him and your father.
Never
at the
thought
same
the two
time.
together,
I
huh?
met. Actually, I think I met your father before I met
I'll
you.
post a picture just so
Weird.
that this means something to
when I
anybody.
was at when I was working at White Hot Country Club.
Sorry, off subject.
They were
Yeah,
both there.
it's fine.
Anyway, mayors
Well,
shouldn't
she's-
cuss so much, probably.
She said that she wanted to, or why would I want to hire you if you can't even help me get elected? She was grilling her about that, and she's like, "Look, I knew exactly what Nora was feeling.
But she was
she
just
was
so
in that I'm
she-
trapped in the house with only kids all the time bullshit, and I don't have any adults to talk to. I've seen that happen so many times to people that
Yeah.
I knew instantly that was her issue. Like she needed to fucking be an adult somewhere and have a fucking purpose.
Have some purpose.
Yeah,
other
and
than mom, other than
she
mom.
said she needs something for herself. And Nora says, for the next 4 weeks, as far as you're concerned, I don't have a family. So true, starting tomorrow.
Nice.
What a bad
Which
line.
is how-
Henderson's
which
just
is how-
cleaning up.
Which is how she got her elected. Because she wasn't going to get her, she ended up getting elected.
Right.
So the family being eliminated helped out the mayor.
But she didn't get elected the next day, so they still
Probably-
had to go on.
you know
through
what?
The election
Wait a
and
minute.
everything
But she had no
afterwards.
distractions.
Wait a minute. Did
or-
did the other candidate disappear?
That's very possible, too.
That's fucking hilarious. Right.
Maybe
she
she's
won
like,
by fucking defiance.
Unopposed.
I love the pose right there. Like,
I got this shit,
I got
bitches.
this. Fuck that.
That's fucking amazing.
That's great
That's
stuff.
probably what happened.
Great stuff.
Well,
I love this goddamn show.
He's on fire.
I didn't love it until this week.
Oh,
really,
this
was
fucking
the show. This was the
great.
episode that I needed.
Concrete.
It gave fucking
goodness.
answers to things.
It was a good episode.
but not enough to where I'm like, okay, I'm good.
I feel like
Oh, no,
we're not done yet, but I feel
No,
like they
I'm
could
glad we still got one more episode. I want to see what...
I
Right.
feel like they could have ended on this.
Well,
episode
we'll
for
get
the
to why
season.
they couldn't.
Okay,
later.
I know why.
Right.
But I feel like
Yeah.
if they had shorn up some other loose ends, right, and then just played this as the last episode for the season, that could have totally worked.
This episode is a time stopper. It's a way to make you forget what's coming in the finale.
And just
That's my thoughts on it.
Absolutely.
Well, Garvey's dad pops his head in and asks if she's coming to his thing tonight. And she's like, "You're not supposed to know about the thing." And he's like, "Well, I know about the thing." He asked Nora if she told her she could beat Buddy. Oh, he asked Nora if Nora told the what the hell's her name? The mayor's name? Do you have any idea?
I don't know.
He asked if Nora told her that she could help her beat Buddy, and she's like, "No," and hire her.
Right.
And
I like.
she unconvincingly says, "We're just friends."
"Right, like, wait, like, why did you even say that?"
Yeah, what are you talking? Tell me that for.
Obviously, now she knows you're fucking, but that's weird. You can't just be like, "Oh, we're just friends." If you just say that any time, you're not just friends. This is how that works.
Yeah. So let's see. So Kevin is in a meeting and sees a My Hero mug that is leaking, and he's doing.
You're good.
Oh, as he's doing so, his dad mentions a deer problem. And the dad sees something in the back of... Oh, wait, fucking A. Sorry, guys. I got distracted with my hands and therefore fucked up the thing.
God
well,
damn it.
there was something, obviously, there's some symbolism to the My Hero mug leaking. Even though there was no obvious leak from it.
Right. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird, but I don't know.
There was a couple of strange things
I feel like they don't ever do
They
things
do a lot
without
of weird
purpose.
shit, you know? You're just like, okay, there was a fucking deer in the forest.
But yeah,
No,
it's
he's
all
not
not
there
for
anymore.
it's all has a reason. I think the animals, like some of the animals were maybe going a little nuts. So like that's why like this deer, like
I like the nutso animals, yeah. But I don't know, this is the crack coffee mug, but there's no obvious leak. I don't know about that one. I mean, probably there's something.
Lena, leave her alone.
I wanted it to say Kobayashi on the bottom of the mug so bad.
Oh, that'd have been great.
Why? What's that from?
Usual suspect.
Yeah, Kaiser Soze.
Well,
Putting it
yeah,
on
we
there.
mentioned how he had unconvincingly said we're just friends, the dad and the mayor.
Oh, I like a slow motion.
It was awesome.
So
Great.
he's looking at the mug and then
Side note, Usual Suspects, great movie.
Yeah, everybody should watch that movie.
It's a fucking great movie.
Kevin says he thinks it's just one deer. And his dad says if you see it, put it down. And Kevin doesn't think it needs to be killed.
His dad was being a dick, and also the other guy, what's his name?
Lou.
The fucking Lou. Fuck
Garvey
you, Lou.
still straight up getting no respect.
Yeah, even before anything.
Even before chief of police.
Lou
no
was always an
respect.
asshole. Lou was an asshole before. Lou
Well,
was an
yeah, his
asshole
dad
after.
says if it's unstable, then yes, we do. Kevin doesn't think it needs to be killed.
Fuck you, Lou.
It sounded like he was talking about himself. Garvey's dad was talking about himself present day without knowing it.
Well, that's
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. I
that's
made
what
that
that was
connection
about,
too.
Yeah.
right.
There was a
If it's unstable, then yes, we do have to kill it.
That's
Right.
exactly the line I was thinking of. I was like, wow.
That sounds like he'll change his stance
right.
on
He's
that.
like,
in a
no.
few days.
No, I mean, I just animals.
Yeah, Kevin suggests tranquilizers, and his dad says if he gets a tranq gun and makes it there before anyone with a real gun, then he can set Bambi free.
Right. So on that point, did you think about?
He says he hates parties and hopes to see none of them soon.
On that point, did you think about how everyone was like, "Oh no, it wasn't Garvey. Garvey wouldn't shoot dogs." Because at that point, he's such a pacifist about things. He's like, "No, this was Trankum." I felt like there should have been a little bit more there, where he's like, "This is why we shouldn't do that," but he didn't really say it. You guys know what I'm saying? Because when the dogs get shot, they're like like his daughter especially is like, "Nah, not my dad. He wouldn't do that." And I feel like they touched on that a little bit, as in he was trying to trank the deer, but at the same point they didn't say why he wanted to trank the deer and why not shoot
Well,
it.
just to save it, just to not kill it.
I guess that was kind of implied, but it was, I don't know.
Because he said we'll trank it and then take it somewhere and let it go.
Just let it go, right. I don't know. I feel like there's a little bit more.
I thought at that point that it was going to be the same deer. I thought that he was going to get to trank it, and it was going to, be set free, just like he said, and then it was going to be the one that came in and destroyed his cabinets.
I feel like this deer is like a spirit deer.
They're like wrestling around
Like
inside.
the deer dies, but
There's a line.
he's not die. He's not going to die. Wrestling. Nice. I like
Okay,
that,
where am I at on this fucking thing?
I like that you have a kid cam going on.
I know, right? Oh, so Tommy calls and says he thinks he fucked up. And he's in the back of a squad car, and he apologizes to his dad. And then his dad, sees something on the back of his head. And, Tom flinches when he touches it. So presumably some sort of abrasion, some sort of cut. Kevin drives to someone's house and is asking if he touched Tom and says, if you touch my kid again, I will fucking kill you. And he looks up and sees the guy's kid watching. And the poor man's Ethan Hawke turned out to be Tom's biological dad. I don't know if we had known that before.
Poor man's Ethan Hawke.
That's what he looked like. He looked like a generic
He's a
Ethan
legitimate actor. I gotta look him up.
But he's also the generic Ethan Hawke. He is to Ethan Hawke what that guy is to Cuba Gooding Jr.
What guy?
Or wait, is it not Cuba Gooding Jr.?
That sounds racist.
Come on, who's that guy? You know what I'm talking about. The guy that looks like Cuba Gooding Jr., but he's not.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. There we are. This guy is to Ethan Hawke what Terrence Howard is to Cuba Gooding Jr.
I don't know. He doesn't look like Ethan Hawke.
I got a very Ethan Hawke vibe. The little patchy goatee, the face. Yeah.
Sometimes you're on.
No, the Terrence Howard to Cuba Gooding Jr. thing is from 50 yards, you're like...
From 50 yards, I look like Cuba Gooding. Come on. All right, let's go. That guy, he's been in stuff.
Well, poor man's
50
Ethan
yards
Hawke.
is not that fucking far away. What are you talking about?
He tells his kid that it's okay, and then Tom asks...
I can't see so good.
If Cuba Gooding Jr. and Terrence Howard were standing next to each other 50 yards out, you might be like, I don't know,
Definitely.
I feel like I would know, because...
I feel like if you were standing next to Cuba Gooding Jr. 50 yards away, I don't fucking know who was who.
Well, if we were dressed the same.
I would still know who was who.
Well, I feel like I was going to say Tom asked his dad, but I feel like I have to clarify now.
Oh,
Tom
why?
asked Kevin why he had to tell him, and Kevin says, I'm your dad, not him. Mm-hmm. And Tom...
I got he was the bio dad.
Immediately.
I got that.
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
Immediately, Shannon goes, "Aw."
Yeah, I was looking at it as I was focused on Ethan Hawke.
I thought he was being doing gay things for a second, which is totally fine.
That wasn't, that's not necessarily ruled out in terms of what I was thinking at the time either, yeah. Well, Tom keeps fucking with his biological dad because he doesn't get to pretend it never happened. Again, this repeating phrases that Patty would say.
Right.
You don't get to pretend it never happened.
Yeah.
So then Kevin says sometimes you have to pretend. Oh. And Lori is picking out the puppy from Gladys,
which is a perfectly good.
Sometimes you have to pretend.
Is a very good
is always
response to you don't get to pretend it never happened.
Right.
Sometimes, man, you got to get on with your life, and you do have to fucking.
I feel like there's more
happen.
to that with his dad saying, wake up. What he's like, sometimes you have to pretend. Maybe there's something there. Either way, it's getting creepy. Go.
Okay.
Go.
Lori's picking out the puppy from Gladys, and she says it's the dog's third litter. And again, I'm just harping on this, but Lori is pregnant with her third child.
Damn it, man. Nice.
The dog's third litter, and Gladys says
How many
to
times
take
did you watch this episode?
One.
Really?
Yes.
That's really great.
I started it last night. I saw the first half a second, and I was out.
You're like, here he comes. We watched it last night.
Well, Gladys says basically that she's done now. She said something like that. I didn't write it down, but she said something about the dog after it had its third pregnancy, or its third litter, it's done.
Right.
And she says to take the dog home and Kevin will fall in love with it. I just feel like that was some sort of reference to her, to Lori, too. Besides just the fact that she's pregnant, this is her
go
third.
Home and tell him you're pregnant.
Well, no. I mean, in the sense that she's done. The mom dog, she's done now, too.
Right.
The third one is going to be... I felt like it was somehow tied to her fate. Gladys says to take the dog home and Kevin will fall in love with it, and Lori starts crying. Thoughts on why she was crying?
What I'm saying there is
I guess now in retrospect,
take the dog home. If she goes home, she's thinking in her mind, if I go home and tell him I'm pregnant, maybe this will change things between us. because
Right.
obviously there was something wrong between them.
Yeah, at that point, I didn't
Well, that's
know.
what we're talking in up to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
didn't
So
know
what
that.
did you think
Well, I mean,
at that
you've
point?
already spoiled it.
That was my guess at that moment. So if I didn't know until.
But I'm saying, yeah, we've talked about it, and that is
Okay, yeah.
obviously what happened.
Yeah.
But at that point, I was not thinking that at all. So I'm like,
cancer
they've got-
still.
I didn't know. I thought cancer, but at that point, I didn't make any assumptions, or I didn't make any connections between cancer and that. What I was thinking was like, well, there's just a lot of shit going on at home.
That's kind of what I was
obviously.
thinking.
It's just not a good time. I mean, and that's kind of how she portrayed it when she came home, and it's like,
Did you think
not a
that
good
she
time.
didn't think he was? She was definitely transferring it all about the baby then.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
obviously now.
Yeah.
But-
Duh.
Is this the first time that all 4 of these characters have been on screen at once?
Who?
Ooh,
The Garveys.
yeah.
This
Oh,
is the
yeah.
first time they've all been on screen at
Yeah.
once. And like, I'm going to go back to what you said a little while ago about Kevin being the same in this episode.
Yeah.
See, here's like the point where you see him when he comes around that corner, bright eyed, kind of like smiling, and then the kid comes in behind him. You know what I'm saying? Like with the
No.
cake. Like
I don't think so.
I-
I don't think so because
well,
even,
there was a little face change later.
even
on.
still, like
A
when
couple-
we're not there yet, or maybe we passed it.
No,
no
I
party.
know
We're
he
not to the
changed
party yet.
later in this
When-
episode.
well, when
there
his
was a
dad-
couple of points, like when he looked at her right at the beginning when she walked out after the opening credits, they said bye to each other and she was leaving out the door.
Yeah. A little
bit
Like she
there.
said, "I love
Yeah,
you,"
I know
and
what you're
kissed him on the
talking
mouth,
about.
and she
Yeah.
like. fucked up. He was
That
just like-
seems nice. But I'm telling you, like,
But he stayed for a second. The camera stayed on him for a second.
Right.
And his face just changed a little bit.
telling you,
and
man.
it just-
When his dad
the way he closed
comes
the door.
up to him later and he's like, "Cut the bullshit," basically.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, he's always been this way. I'm thinking
Well-
he's always just angry and moody.
I
He's like
guess we'll
Batman.
see.
He's like Batman. He's just moody.
Oh, fucking Batman. Well, anyways, Jill is working on a project, and Lori tells Jill she can't make it to a presentation tomorrow, and she thinks Jill's going to be, like, pissed at her, and she's just like, oh, you're the best mom ever, and gives her hugs and kisses and makes her feel good, and then Kevin walks in, and
again, like,
then Tom brings in the
way
cake,
to go.
and they weren't expecting him home. And,
I like that you just brought that picture into
yeah, why not?
That's great.
Kevin is looking out the window for Silver Fox, a.k.a. the dad.
That was hilarious.
Lori
by the
walks
way.
him in, and
We both laughed
he
about
feigns surprise, and Mary is at the party and looking alive. I noticed that first off.
looking alive.
Well, what's his name's wife, Matt's wife.
Yeah, the doctor.
The soon-to-be mayor
Dr.
compliments
Who.
him on the house and by saying Lori must do well for herself, and Kevin says, fuck you very much. And they joke that he won't be able to speak to her like that when she's mayor, which obviously he can.
Obviously, he does.
And
Right.
Lou brings up the deer in front of Lori, and he
Fuck
gets to
you,
say,
Lou.
fuck you, Lou, again.
Fuck you, Lou.
Yeah, Lou, you're an
Fuck
asshole.
off, Lou, right?
Lou's a dickhead.
So, I mean, that was
a
just like the party
dickhead.
scene, and then we cut to Nora's kids as she's tucking him in, and the boy says prayers are stupid, and her daughter says, maybe the deer lost his family. And her kid says to turn off the lights. I'm
Yeah, I
not
caught that
scared
one, too.
anymore. That was like, okay. The husband stumbles in late as shit, and she tells him her interview went great, and he couldn't be less interested.
no.
Could not care any less at that moment.
At that point,
Impossible.
Shannon goes, I hate that guy.
Yeah, because he's such a douchebag.
Yeah, he is
He
a total
was
You
a
could
douche.
tell that he
douchebag.
had just got done banging that preschool teacher.
Yeah, Shannon's like, fuck that guy. I'm glad.
He was
I'm glad
trying to.
he
You know
disappears.
how you can't clear off cigarette smell?
No, you can't clear off that smell.
Sex.
There's also another smell that you're not able to clear off, and that's why he was keeping his distance.
You
Was he
also-
going into the bathroom? No, he was going into the kid, wasn't he?
Yeah, because he's a douchebag.
Yeah, but he would have done that and then gone to the bathroom. You know, he cleaned,
Obviously.
or he just showered at her house, so maybe that wasn't a concern. Who knows?
Well, he's a douche, and they casted him well.
Well, we cut out to everyone dancing in harmony at the party. The whole family was happy, seemingly. Again, Matt says why he nominated Garvey Sr. as Mapleton Man of the Year, because he couldn't nominate himself. Yuck. He's
Yeah,
fucking
first-
hilarious.
Side note, that
Stick
backyard,
to religion.
that
No,
backyard.
but see, even this
was
guy's
not
a
their
little
backyard.
backhanded, though. Like, he
Who?
might be a priest,
He
but
felt everybody
Oh, no.
did feel a little bit
He
different.
felt happy. He
Yeah.
felt like
His wife was good.
all right. His wife was alive, quote unquote. He's fine.
Why are you touching the camera? Put it back exactly where it was. What's the matter with you? Shit.
Podcast parenting. Hashtag podcast parenting.
Boom, puts it back.
Done.
Anyways,
No. He felt happy. He felt kind of normal compared to what you see him as in the regular show or in the the
Yeah,
other
he seemed
episodes,
very
which is kind of
Is everybody alive out there?
squirrely and weird.
Kevin reads something that his dad read to him as a kid, and it said, a lot of people think the world owes them something, but Dad, you build our lives on your own. Now look at me. Look what I got.
You didn't read what
And then he
said?
goes, to family. No, I didn't read it. It was fucking some kind of fucking, what do you call it, psychology bullshit. It just sounded like something philosophical, I mean.
I had heard it before.
Yeah?
The universe, hey, Mr. Universe.
Yeah, basically the universe doesn't owe you anything.
Yeah.
Right.
I totally agree. Kevin looks tortured even now as he looks around the party. At that point, he seemed burdened.
I'm telling you, man, he's always just.
But
moody.
I don't know that he's necessarily the same guy that he is present day. I think the same guy present day comes a couple scenes later.
I think there's
No pun intended.
I'm curious to see if we think it's the same.
I don't know if you did though.
Okay, we'll get there.
I feel like he didn't.
Because I think there's a certain scene in this point where it's like a switch flips, man, and you're just like,
Are we there? Are we there yet?
whoa,
Not yet.
Not
yet. Are we getting there?
We'll see. We'll be getting there.
Well, Kevin's outside
let us
smoking again, and his dad catches him, and his dad says he almost believes he meant the speech. And Kevin thinks something is wrong with him.
Did you feel weird about that? Like,
No, I felt
having
like
a father,
I felt like I totally understood.
just having like a moment where your dad's like, "Fuck you, shut up." I think that's what he said to him, basically. He's
Well,
just
no,
like,
but I felt I understood what Kevin's going. Why isn't this enough? Why isn't everything that I have?
Yeah,
enough?
no, I'm with you on that. Just saying,
Yeah.
like your father brought you down a little bit, and you're like, "No, I meant it."
And he's like, because
Why don't you love me?
He's like, because every man rebels against the idea that this is fucking it. I just put preach.
Yeah.
And he tells Kevin, you have no greater purpose because it is enough. So cut the shit.
When he said that, though,
He's
every
being
man
fucking douchey
every
about
man
it.
rebels against that idea, right? Did you get the idea? I got the idea that his father had cheated on his mother, or that he had done some dirt.
I don't think I didn't feel like the whole talk was about him cheating.
No, I don't
think he
feel
had
so
cheated
either.
up to
I
that
don't think
point.
he had ever cheated.
I don't think
Who?
so either. Kevin.
Garvey.
No, I don't think so either. But I think, I feel like his father was like, "You just do shit because."
I feel like he's just being mopey. That's all. He's being kind of mopey, and that's what his dad's picking up on. Going,
he's like,
cut the shit.
He's like, "Fucking just cheer up,
Yeah, quit being a fucking little wussy
man up,
about,
man up, take care of your fucking awesome family."
life's so terrible. I have my perfect 2.3 kids,
Right.
and
But I feel like what he said was, every man feels that way.
once you're married and you
you're
do
married,
your
right.
job and like, oh, this is it. Like, there's not
Right.
like you need something to be chasing.
Right.
I feel like if you give up chasing, that's when it's just like, fuck. What am I doing?
Okay, that was real talk. Hashtag real talk.
I totally sympathize with that. I almost had that same talk with my mom today.
Wow.
Lori tells Kevin they should hold off on getting a dog, and he says they should do it tomorrow. Let's surprise the kids. And they kiss. Oh, the kids will be surprised tomorrow. Don't you worry.
Uh-oh.
We cut to 5:58 a.m. and Kevin looks tortured again. He goes for a run, and Lori wakes up. Lori wakes up Tom and admires his new tattoo, and she suggests she could get Thug Life on her neck, and they have a genuine laugh. It made
Do
me
you
laugh.
think he's just that tortured because he's got to go to such lengths to smoke a fucking cigarette?
Wait a minute.
But he doesn't. As she told him when she asked him, we're almost to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Can we do a quick time check?
What's that? I said 5:58 a.m.
Meantime, as like
No,
real
no,
world
as
time?
in
How long have we been doing this?
No, when
Because that would have been really curious in 7 minutes if you would have asked
when
that
the
question, because it would have been
episode
5:58.
started, wasn't it
PM?
October 13th already?
Yes.
And now
we're
it's-
on the day.
Now
Oh,
we're
now
on
it's
day
the
of.
Okay, gotcha.
Morning he wakes up.
Yeah.
Go, carry on.
So Tom apologizes for getting drunk and going to see Michael, and he could try and forget about him, but it doesn't work, is what she told him.
Yeah.
He offered. He's like, yeah, he didn't want to make her feel bad, so he's just like, I could let it go, and
What's
she's
the
like,
song
nah, you
he's
don't have to
running
do that.
to? Did anybody catch that?
I didn't write it down. I figured it might be worth noting when I put on there he was running the same song again, but I didn't bother to look it up.
My favorite song. Wasn't my favorite.
He runs past the mailbox, and I was like, oh, I thought he was just going to run past it, and then he goes back and gets a smoke.
This is one of the stranger parts of the episode.
Yeah,
I
a
mean,
car
good
pulls
call,
up,
yeah.
and the lady inside says, are you ready?
I've been wanting to talk about this part. All right,
And
go ahead.
he says, didn't he just say, what?
He's like,
what? And she leans into the back seat
They
and then
descri-
says,
they're
oh, I'm
like-
sorry, I thought you were someone else.
Right.
Some weird looking
Yeah.
kids, right?
No, it was like old ladies. It
Yeah.
was like a bunch of old ladies.
It was a bunch of old women. Weirdness.
really.
All right. So
think
did
they
you
had a
guys
clue?
did you guys
They knew
take
it was
anything on
coming.
that? Did you guys take any points away from that?
I think that they had some sort of premonition, such as Patty did, that they knew it was coming.
Okay.
Something was going to
Yeah,
happen.
that's-
right?
Feels like maybe a precursor to the GRs.
Yeah, this
in a
is
way.
where I'm going with it because he was wearing a white T-shirt and smoking, and maybe they didn't quite catch his pants.
Was
right?
he?
Yeah, he was
Are you
smoking.
sure?
I'm
He was
positive
smoking a
he was
cigarette.
smoking a cigarette
When they
while he was
pulled up.
sitting down with his white T-shirt on,
Okay,
right?
I see.
Just smoking, right?
That's-
and they rolled up and they're like, "Are you ready?"
Yeah.
I thought they were going to, maybe they thought, "Oh, GR."
I guess
we're
here's my
coming with.
query.
I don't think they were wearing that.
Here's
that
my
outfit,
query off of the back of that.
though. Go.
Do you mean then that he somehow accidentally inspired what became the Guilty
Ooh,
Remnants?
No, I'm not saying that.
Or
That's good.
that the Guilty Remnants existed before the sudden departure?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he inspired it. Maybe he did. I'm not saying that, but I'm thinking that they knew. I think they were looking for someone, and they thought he was that someone because of a certain reason. The only reason I can think is smoking, wearing a white T-shirt. That's where I'm going with it. Maybe they were looking for someone else, but I think they were looking for someone. They were like, "Are you ready? Are you this person we're looking for?" Is kind of the idea I was getting. And the only thing about him that was a little bit out of the normal from the normal, Garvey that we see is smoking. And at that point, I think at that eye level, looks like he's wearing all white. So I don't know. For me, that's what I took away. I thought they were part of this GR movement.
I just took that they had some sort of like premonition of it. Like GR is a good. That's a good
That's
thing
what
to
I
think
said.
about when
That's
they.
what I said.
Okay, he is
with-
absolutely wearing the white
I-
T-shirt.
and smoking
Okay.
a cigarette.
Yeah,
That's really good symbolism
He looks
too.
like right there. Look at him.
Guilty-
GR, right?
Oh,
Guilty
straight up
remnant.
GR,
Like,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
like he looks like. I mean, if they're looking down, maybe they didn't quite see his knees, or maybe they did, and then they were like, "Oh no, he's wearing sweatpants," and then they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we'll go on." Can we play that? Can we cue that
That
audio?
doesn't look like an old lady in the back of that car.
She's old.
Oh, we could absolutely play the clip.
All right, here it is.
Excuse me?
Sorry, back it
back
up
a little
just
bit.
to, just
Here's that song. Soundhound it. All right, cuts
yeah.
to-
So he's sitting there smoking a cigarette in a white
Like
shirt.
a straight up
Smoking
guilty
white shirt.
remnant,
Except for
like
the
a straight up
pants,
GR.
but
Except for his
yeah.
pants,
Right.
but yeah. I mean, that's a cool.
So that's a
scene.
good transition.
Are you ready?
Excuse me?
Excuse me.
Let's talk it
Yep,
over.
old lady.
They're not wearing all white, but
I'm sorry. I thought you were someone else.
let's go.
I mean,
Yeah,
there was
that was a young chick back there too. But
Yeah,
I'm
but there
saying-
was also an old lady behind
They
the
were some
passenger
fucking
seat.
creepy looking people, though.
But at that point, I had immediately thought, "Oh, they're looking for someone. The guilty. This is how the guilty remnants start. This is how it kind of begins."
Fuck, I just had a thought while we were watching that, and I lost it now. What
Watch
the
it
hell
again.
was it? Yeah, I'm gonna just watch it again. Fuck it.
Are you ready? She's weird about it. Are you ready?
They pull up right over the
Are you
manhole
ready?
cover too.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Good call. Wow, wait a minute. Now that I think about that, that's different.
I'm sorry. I thought you were someone else.
Oh, my thought was that nobody else in this whole thing has been smoking. He's the only one that's been smoking in this whole
Okay,
episode.
that'd have been great if they were smoking.
It's a weird.
It's a weird fucking
Flip-flop.
moment. Obviously it's a weird ass
That's
moment.
one of the strangest moments in the episode. It's one of the strangest moments in the
Well,
series.
you say that,
Or-
but then it easily gets trumped seconds later.
Well,
it felt
yeah.
like.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Just by sheer coincidence, he hears noise from the sewer grate after they
Oh,
drive
right,
away,
right.
and it looks newly paved
But
around
they-
it. Right? It looked newly paved around that sewer grate, didn't it?
I didn't catch that. I don't know if it was newly paved, but
Well, I mean,
look at
Let's just watch and see it.
Jeremy brought up the fact that they
were
had
parked
parked
right
right
over
over
Yeah.
it.
A couple seconds later,
So a couple of seconds of just talking and bantering a little bit more, and that would have, I don't know, what it would have done, I guess.
You see how
yeah,
it looks
newly-
like it's got.
newly paved.
Oh.
They later on mentioned some sort of gas line that's being worked on.
I think he mentioned it. He was like,
Yeah.
but
Well,
someone
yeah,
mentioned odd.
he hears noise from it. It starts shaking, and it looks newly paved around it, and it explodes the cover up in the air, much like a hatch explosion. He avoids it falling on him. Oh yeah, and he goes home and explains to Lori, "I'm thinking he forgot to do his post cigarette cleanup."
Good call.
And she asked if he
That's
just
why.
smoked.
Nice.
Right.
See,
Nice
I
call.
told you I have to stop fucking writing things like that
Nice
because
call.
He did forget because
Yeah.
of all the commotion.
Even if he did it, though, we'd already talked about it. It
doesn't
work.
matter.
It doesn't work.
yeah. So she asked if he just smoked, and she says, "Just be honest this time," which that felt weird. I
Yeah,
mean,
it did.
just about the smoking. Or
No,
was
no.
that-
Yeah, I think that was about the son, his story, because she
Oh,
had
yeah,
already.
yeah, fuck.
She had talked to her son. I think.
Yeah, because
that.
Tommy told her about Michael, and he says
she
it
was
wasn't
pissed.
his place, and she's like,
Right.
"What is your place then?
Right.
Is it here? Be honest." He says, "I smoked,
kinda
and I don't
shitty.
want a dog." He didn't say anything because
This is
she
the
wanted
point
it.
where I'm talking about the switch flipped.
Okay.
I
He
feel
was
like
standing
that's
there,
when we're seeing
and
it.
like when
well,
right, she looked at him, and he was right when she asked him
When they
be
had that
honest,
argument?
and his face was just like,
Fuck you, bitch.
right.
He says,
I
"Fuck
don't
you,
want-
Lori."
What did he say?
he says, "I don't."
I just smoked and I don't want a dog. That
Yeah.
look on his face, I was like, oh, there he is. That's our Garvey right there. You
He's
know,
been there the whole time. I
Yeah.
think he's been playing. Like.
Well,
nice.
I feel like that's one of those if you've ever seen a couple. Well, I mean, you have to almost be in it to know that moment, the anger that can exist
I think
versus
we've all
the
been
public
there.
persona.
We've all been
You know
there.
what I mean? Like the public front, you're all happy, then you get home and you're like, you
Yeah.
know what? Fuck off.
Yeah, we
You
are
know,
all
that's happened.
we all have long lasting relationships. We've all had those same exact conversations. I know we have.
So he didn't
That
say
happens.
anything because she wanted it, and he gets the call about the deer, and she looks pissed, and he says, "She goes, it's trapped. Better go save it." And
What a
I put
bitch.
she says cuntily, and he says, "Fuck off, Lori," or "Fuck you, Lori."
That was great.
And then Kevin pulls up to the house, and I paused it there because, man, I thought it was the house from the pilot that he went up to return the dog,
oh yeah,
where he saw the water fountain, but there was no water fountain there, and
No.
it was different people.
Yeah, no, it wasn't it.
They're just making noise.
on the
Cuntily.
table or on the furniture.
Cuntily.
No, he's on the furniture. The deer is upstairs at the house, and it bursts through a door and runs away and gets hit by a car. And Kevin gets his gun and kills the deer. Well, I mean, do we need to address that there was somebody in the house sitting there with the coins?
The Mongoloid?
Well, I mean, if you must.
Is that-
It's obviously just a Down syndrome person.
Is that PC?
a person with Down
No,
syndrome?
I would imagine Mongoloid is not PC.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was.
He
I
was,
thought
a
that was.
he was a crippled mongoloid. I mean, yeah, no big deal.
I thought that was.
What is this, 1970? Jesus
What's
Christ,
that?
Aaron Brown.
Is that what we-
Seriously, we're
Isn't that what we-
right.
No.
No.
Right.
We're
retard.
calling them Down
I mean,
syndrome.
are you just going to go as far as to say they should have just pitched him into a pit when he was born? I mean, is this where we're going with
He
this?
was obviously
Aaron.
his quality of life. I'm just saying. Retard.
It's saying your first name just made me laugh for some reason. Aaron. Like, it got serious all of a sudden.
Right.
It did get
Right,
real
like, I'm
serious.
not sure if I want to be your friend anymore.
No, I think Mongoloid is still a very clinical word.
He tried to get the
Don't go past
he tried to
Mongoloid.
get the mongoloid.
It's fine.
I'm not. He told the mongoloid to get out of the house, and the grandma or whatever is like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
If it's not a good word, I won't use it anymore. But
Well-
I thought it was fine.
I mean, I don't care.
You maybe Google it. Maybe post it
I'll
on
look it up.
Facebook with a
It wasn't
picture
as
of him and
bad.
say, did you guys see the mongoloid in last night's episode? And see what anybody says.
I will, but I feel like
Because
Jeremy
you-
has got to be like,
but you could say-
look at all the Orientals, and then we'll see
I
who
didn't-
gets more.
I wasn't the one who
That
said
was
Orientals.
you. Oh, that was you.
Yeah, Oriental
wasn't
rugs.
me.
I know they're rugs.
Oh, okay.
Well, anyways, Kevin gets his gun and kills
You're
the
a
deer.
Mongoloid, whatever.
You're a Mongoloid.
Did you guys notice the same lens flare at that
I mean, but
point
is that-
after he
okay.
shot it? When he shot the deer in the head?
The lens flare.
The lens
Yeah.
flare on the top of the deer's head, it was a
J.J.
balloon,
Abrams-ish.
and on its antlers it says it's a girl.
Oh yeah.
I mean, on the balloon it said it's a girl.
Right.
Oh.
I mean, and it was burst, so they burst that bubble. I'm just saying.
And she was hot.
Everybody's
That's
so-
weird.
Like
Yeah, everybody's alive.
They're all
Keaton
alive.
looks like he's going to go through your front plane.
No Mongoloids chasing them. Don't worry.
Well, we cut to Lori driving. And
Mongoloid's not good.
I
Is
don't-
what you're trying to
I don't-
say.
I don't think so.
Damn it! I thought it was okay.
I mean, you're welcome to it, but I'm not going to stop you.
okay, I'll take it back.
Lori is driving, and the lady with the annoying-ass phone demeanor and baby named Sam pulls up. Because she's terrible on the fucking phone,
I knew retard was bad.
and the baby just wouldn't shut the fuck up still. It's still fucking going on, and she hadn't sorted it out. This is before she went to the store,
Okay.
you know, from the sudden departure day. You know the baby I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was the
fuck that
original
lady.
one. She walks around. She's like, "Oh my god!" And then she's like, "Where's my baby, baby,
Yeah.
baby?" Where
But
are
she's
you,
like
baby?"
the most annoying fucking person on the phone
I know,
in
but
public.
yeah, But then she also
and ignored the baby the whole time.
She looks at Lori and she's like, "Huh? What are you gonna do? Dumb baby."
Well, but I put shit's about to go down, and
can I say dumb baby?
Yeah.
Is dumb baby okay?
Dumb baby's fine. The mom gives a
Mongoloid
look
not.
of why can't my baby go away to Lori. That's the look I took from it. Was why can't this baby just fucking go away?
That's
Why can't
worse
this baby
than what
just
I thought.
Disappear. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Just bump that.
So Lori checks in at the doctor, and Mary is there too. And you figure this is going to be where you find out Mary's, she's fucked up. But we find out Matt is in with the doctor, and they think they saw something. And this happens every couple of years. So
Again,
there's your cancer.
Which again, I was like, oh fuck, it's cancer. Obviously, because they're throwing cancer in my face right now.
Lori says, "Sorry, you have to see him like that," and which is ironic considering Matt sees Mary like that now, basically, or even worse.
Yeah.
Look at you, man.
Well,
He's fucking all over.
She said she'd rather they be afraid together.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt comes out and breathes a sigh of relief and says, "Let's get drunk." And she will
that was
drive.
awesome.
So
I love
that's
that line.
obviously
But he
leading
come-
right
but
up
wait.
to the moment.
But he comes out with the
he was being a dick. He was
yeah,
like,
seriously, like
But I
Bad
started
news.
writing
Right.
it. I started
The bad
writing it
news.
before
Then he
he
goes-
even said anything.
"Ha ha, everything's fine."
What?
No, somebody didn't lock the door, Daddy.
Well,
So
so
he comes out and he's like, "Ah."
well, he came out as
Everything's great.
if something was wrong, and I started writing before he even changed his demeanor. I'm like, he breathes a sigh of relief because I just knew it was going to happen. And he's like, the smile and the let's get drunk. And you knew at that moment that we were
great.
right up to the moment, right?
Oh, it's right
of the
there,
sudden
right?
departure because she had been driving,
Oh, that's right.
right?
Good call.
So,
Nice.
I forgot where I'm at here.
What was said about that earlier?
What was said about what?
Why is she in a catatonic state?
She went into that catatonic state at the sudden departure moment.
Right, but I thought maybe
no, she got because of the car accident.
what I'm
okay.
saying.
Yeah, well, it's
So,
car
but
accident,
you
car
realize you
accident.
put together this was leading right up to that,
Right.
That this
Oh,
was
yeah.
the last time she'll be driving.
Yeah, but the catalyst was the car accident for her being in
See,
the
at this point, was the
catatonic
suspenseful
state.
music playing yet?
I don't know.
Because at some point it started like
When
It
he
did,
breathed
it
a
did.
sigh of relief
Yeah, that was
and
amazing.
said, "Let's
You
get
knew-
drunk."
you knew
coming up
everything
like
was
that,
happening,
like
right?
his
You're
shit's
like-
about to hit the
Yeah,
fan
I
right
knew
now.
she was going to be driving, and that was going to be them driving down that main road.
Right.
Because we just saw the mom with the annoying baby
Right.
and the shitty phone demeanor.
The baby is probably just a nice baby.
You say that, but she's the worst.
That's
this
the-
lady.
No,
This
the
lady
baby.
Is, I
The
know,
baby.
but it's her fault that
Oh.
the baby is the way that it is.
that's so worse than Mongoloid.
No way.
Just a nice little baby. This is a
Yeah,
little
but they're
baby.
all a product of their environment.
No,
It's got no
criticizing like
Her
a singular parent and her parenting, not generalizing an
a
entire
whole
chance. Species with
Wait a
species.
minute, species sounds even worse.
I know, right?
classifying them as a different species is even worse.
Fair enough.
No, they were saying they were looking
Hey,
like
this isn't the
people
Joel
of the
Henderson show,
Mongol-
okay? Are they from Mongolia?
Yeah, that was the whole. Look it up. They were like they have attributes of the Mongol.
Attributes?
Yes, physical attributes of the Mongol
This is a
dynasty.
controversy I don't want to
Yeah.
get into.
I'm telling you,
We'll have to take
look it
this
up.
one to the laboratory.
Right.
Anyways, Garvey is going to fuck the deer accident lady, and she's going to disappear. I
didn't
read
say-
at this
I
point.
didn't say attributes.
Yeah, she pulls out a cigarette, and he bums one and lights hers for her. The obvious "we're going to fuck" move.
Fuck you, Lou.
Seriously.
Garvey offers to give her a ride. Nora's kids are fighting as Dad sex the
Nobody saw the air
school
quotes.
teacher. SEXTS. You couldn't tell in my voice that I was air quoting,
I don't know.
that I'm using air quotes.
Did it show him sexting her?
I can
Did
see
it
you
show
do.
what he was
No,
saying
but
there?
that's
Or
what
you
he's
just
doing. I just know that he's sexting that lady. You know he is.
Really?
He's obviously talking to the teacher because
You're-
he's kind of aloof.
You're making moves, man. I like this.
I do
All
what
right.
I can, you know.
All right. I mean, none of this is like
Her kids are cunts. I wrote down chanting, "I want
again.
food."
I think
they were
normal,
the worst.
normal, nice little children.
No, they were the worst.
They're fine
that
children.
boy was an asshole.
What you do is you're like, hey,
She seems
Cut it
like
out.
one of those parents that
Cut it out,
won't
you
do that,
little
though.
asshole.
But
No.
she doesn't seem like that type of parent. She seems like the type of parent that's enabling him to go,
what you're saying
prayers
is-
are stupid.
she's a cunt, and he's just a nice little kid.
No, he's not a nice little kid, is what I'm saying. He gets it from his dad. Does that make you feel better about me saying it?
All right, now that makes sense.
those kids are assholes. They're demanding, and they've been spoiled to some degree.
Well, the whole thing out. What were they chanting?
I want food.
Oh, I want food. I want
food.
I want food. Yeah.
And then we cut to Tom coming to Jill's science fair, and they laugh, and it was a weird, like, sexual tension almost.
Whoa.
Didn't you kind of get that for half a second? Like, I don't want the whole Dexter storyline, but you know what I'm saying, right? Didn't you kind of feel that they were, because they're not brother and sister directly.
And I do not know what you're
They're
saying.
not. Garvey's not the dad. Garvey's the dad of Jill. I understand that Lori's still the mom, but
I
it did
didn't
for
get
us.
that.
It felt like they were flirty. It was weird.
No, it felt like
brother and sister don't fucking act like that.
I don't.
You act like you would act like that with your sister?
No.
At that age, at 14 and 11. Well, he's got to be 18, doesn't he?
He wasn't 14.
What's the
I know.
age?
I'm saying
What's
he had
the
to be
age?
18
What's
because
the
he's
age
getting
gap there?
tattoos.
I mean, I don't
guess.
know. I mean,
That's a good call.
I mean, I guess
17-ish.
they could have been overacting
At
it
least.
a little bit.
They're
you know, I
ages.
guess,
But
Sorry,
she's got to
3
be like
years.
11.
I don't think there was any
No.
weird, like, sexual tension.
No?
I don't know.
How old would she have been in
Shit.
present day?
Yeah,
16?
good call, man.
So maybe
Probably
13.
like 13-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
13, 17.
no, dude.
She's
I'm
in
thinking,
high school.
Yeah, but I'm
Or
thinking
no,
like
maybe middle
15.
school.
Like, I'm
Could
thinking
be
she's
like
18.
eighth grade.
Isn't she like 17 or 18 what we're looking at
Now?
now?
Yeah. So
Didn't she have a birthday
13,
party?
14.
No.
No, it wasn't Jill that had a birthday party recently? Okay, anyways.
Can we talk about her friend? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
No, we
Jerry.
can't. She's
Jeremy
part of the
knows.
episode.
All right.
Well, I noticed
See
some
two episodes.
She
weird...
wasn't in this episode.
I noticed some very weird vibes between the two of them. I'm not saying
didn't-
it's sexual tension. I'm saying it felt weird. That's all.
weird,
I hope
though.
it doesn't go anywhere near that. I don't want that at all. It felt like he was flirty with her, the way he would
Feel
like
like-
hug around her.
I feel
and
like you do want that.
I don't. And obviously
I
it
don't
doesn't
know.
go
What
that
if it
way.
does happen? You're like,
Big
ah!
brother like picking on her is what it felt like
That's
to
what I
me.
thought.
But he
He
wasn't
kinda
picking
grabbed her
on her
like-
in any way.
He kind
nice
of grabbed
way.
her and like, but yeah, he was like,
But it was all
you know.
flirty shit.
I
That's
didn't
all I'm
think
saying.
so.
It
I
was
didn't
I
weird.
thought it
that
was
way.
like endearing, like loving
I
brother.
thought it was like, yeah, like
Here's
she
what
kinda, like,
Shannon
ducked
said.
away from him,
Here's
and
what
he kinda,
Shannon
like,
said.
I didn't.
Shannon
think like
goes,
that.
"I wish I had a fucking brother," and I was like, "Yeah, that's nice, right?" Like she felt like I want that. I want a
I mean,
brother.
fair enough.
I didn't take it like that. I didn't.
You
I
fucking
don't-
asshole.
Well, Garvey takes the
We've been
chick to
watching
the
too much Game
hotel.
of Thrones.
Game of Thrones has ruined you.
No, dude. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you completely, and I got to watch
No,
it again.
no,
But
it's-
what I'm saying is, I didn't take it.
It
that same
felt
way.
like
I didn't take
really...
it that way. I didn't take it that way. And I know exactly what you mean, but I didn't take it that way.
You can't talk from over there, so please don't.
It's the only part of the show I remember, though.
Yeah,
All right, here we go.
That scene with them all flirty and stuff.
At the
At
science
the school.
fair.
Wait a minute. What do you mean flirty?
I didn't take it that
And
way.
it was weird because they made it a point to say that they had different dads.
But that's not far enough apart to... I was thinking for a second, oh, wait a minute.
Do the children
Maybe they
even know? Do
would
they even know?
Yes, he does. What I was thinking at that
They
moment
both
when
know?
he came up and hugged on her was that they kind of used to have a thing for each other before they realized how close they were, or you know, like that there was something at some point. There was a vibe.
Damn
Like,
it.
that's all I'm saying. It doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't have to be real. It doesn't have to have actually gone anywhere.
I tried to keep it PG in my head.
I didn't really care. I didn't get
Damn
any
it.
of that. I didn't.
Fucking House Lannister has fucked you up for life.
I was trying to see if I could get anywhere near that in the episode. I doubt it. Anyways, Garvey takes the girl to her hotel, and she thanks him, and she asks him if he's a good guy, and he's like, no.
Oh, as soon as- right. When she's like, "Hey, I'm not from around here," I'm like, "Oh, Garvey, you're."
Yeah.
Yeah, and she asks
But
us to come in.
I got a hotel.
Right.
And Garvey's like, I'll take her home. No problem.
So
I was like, nice moves, Garvey.
at this point, I have no question. Cut to Lori at the OB, I wrote. Not even just doctor. She's
At the
obviously been
OB.
talking about an
You
abortion.
You knew it.
And the baby is his, she says, and she gets an ultrasound, and she hears the heartbeat.
It's a nice little baby.
And
It was a cute
yeah, I
little baby.
mean, Jill. We cut to Jill making a circuit in an experiment. You know, making a complete circuit or whatever. They were just
People
holding hands and touching.
and then touch a little bulb.
Yeah.
That fucking moment later was brilliant.
Well, Nora's making. We cut to Nora
tell you
making.
about
It's like a montage here. Jill's making the circuit with the guy and the other, kids.
This is where the suspenseful music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nora's making grilled cheese. Lucy calls and Nora's cunt daughter spills OJ on her phone because she can't use two fucking hands.
Just a little girl. Just a nice little baby. You son of a bitch. You brought me down like Big Al.
Yes,
You
you're yelling.
motherfucker.
You're leaning in to
She
yell.
was a little girl. She spilled a little cup.
She just fucking told her to use two goddamn hands. What the fuck? Pay attention. She just fucking said, use 2 hands on the cup, you little bitch. And she
Wait a minute.
couldn't
Whoa,
fucking...
whoa.
Go.
She's a little girl.
Go inside, baby. I'll be back in a minute.
See how Jeremy...
If they spilled the thing on my phone, I would have been
pissed
pissed too. Well, we then see how the paper towel got down to 1 ply. Because she goes over to wipe off her fucking phone. Yeah, those kids were being fucking assholes. And they deserve to disappear.
Little... God damn.
Garvey, well, it's better off for fucking Nora.
Hashtag goddamn.
She thought she got screwed, but in all reality, she's better off.
So maybe that was her part of her guilt, is she was.
She feels better
Happy?
about it.
Feels
She's
better about
happy?
them being gone.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are dark.
They're the fucking
No,
worst.
dude,
They're the fucking worst.
Dark.
Well, we cut to Garvey and the chick
like
getting
the reason.
busy.
You're dark,
I
Jeremy.
mean, is that? Do you? Like my kids are kind of like that. Is that what you think of my kids?
Is that their what?
You want
Everything
them,
you just said. Is that what you think of my
you
kids?
want them to disappear, Jeremy?
I don't want them to disappear. They can go home.
But
if
you-
they were my kids, you know what I mean? Like my own kids.
So that is what you think of my
Do you
kids.
call them
I don't
cunts?
have any judgment.
Do you
I don't
call
give
them
a shit.
cunts?
No. Why would I call them cunts? They have names.
Why would you call this little girl cunt? She just dropped a
Because
little
she
cunt.
didn't fucking listen. And then she ruined a goddamn $300 phone because of it.
It was a nice phone.
It's an expensive mistake.
expensive mistake.
All you had to do is use 2 goddamn hands.
And she told her, use 2 hands.
Yep. She did. And I mean, we want food.
That was the brother. The brother inside of
All
that.
I'm saying, she
Kill
did
the brother. The little girl was fine, though. If you
Until
want to murder
she
the
didn't
little
listen.
boy, that's fine. I mean,
Well, this is
Jeremy.
all part of the montage. The music, suspenseful music's building up. We cut to Garvey and the chick, fucking, or they're about to, taking panties off and things.
She looked good, though.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I
I'm
mean,
not
at least
disputing.
high five on that.
Sure. Lori is looking at the baby as we hear a scream. The sudden departure, presumably. And Jill looks puzzled as one of the chain of people disappeared. Nora looks back and her family is gone. Juice is still dripping. Garvey is looking for the girl. She did fucking disappear while he was having sex with her. He thinks he's going crazy, and then the baby is fucking gone.
Well, you don't see that. All you
The
see
baby's
is her
fucking
face,
gone.
and that was the best part about that is all
That
you
they
do
didn't hammer it
is
home?
see her face, and it changes like in the most subtle fucking way. From
Yeah, it's not like,
from joy to like a little bit of like, wait, what? What's happening? What's confusion?
It wasn't like an
Is there a
over
glitch? Is there a glitch
top
on the
face.
screen right now? But it just stays
Yeah, because
on
she
Lori's
doesn't know
face.
that people disappeared right
It
at that
just
moment.
stays on Lori's face, and she's like, "What? Wait, you bring it back?" It was fucking genius.
It was
dude.
amazing.
It was a great way to just not, have you, hammer it down. It was just
because they could have gone, oh, the baby's gone. Where's
she could
the
have been like,
baby?
"Oh my god, where's your baby?" But that's not what happened.
Yeah, she played it fucking beautifully. She didn't know that people disappeared outside
Right.
there.
Well done.
We see the fucking Jill standing there with one of the people gone, and they're just like, "What the fuck?" So
Yeah.
she saw somebody disappear.
Yeah, that was cool.
Jill saw somebody go.
That was genius.
That could
too,
be
because
her
of the
thing.
circuit. The circuit. All of a sudden, you see light disappear from their face, and
Yeah.
you're like, and I'm like, oh, well done.
That to me is
Well
the
done.
moment that we saw Garvey change. That in my mind, that's when he changed to the guy that he is now.
I'm still
fully.
thinking he's been like the same guy.
Just confused as fuck.
Yeah.
When
he's
somebody
been playing a
disappears, when you
character.
have your dick in them,
Well, that
would
pretty
fuck
brutal.
a person up.
Yeah. Especially
If
when
you don't
this
After
was the
everything
first
else.
time.
If you don't
You'd ever
must
when
cheated.
you're like fucking cheating on your wife, this is like
Did that happen?
You're doing it right.
The deer thing, he thinks he's going crazy. This
Yeah.
just added to that, and I think that's what turned him into somebody that people don't respect
blue balls.
and people don't fucking trust or think that he knows what he's talking about. They think he's lost his shit.
He just
and
needs
I think
release.
rightfully so. If he's obviously he can't go around saying I was fucking somebody and they dis-fucking-peered.
You know, they cut to that
That's
scene.
where we end.
They cut to that scene early when we all called it. We're like, cheating on his wife. And you're like, no, I don't think so. I'm not sure about that. And we're like, cheating on his wife. Dude, it's right there. And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I'll
was
tell you
just
what, I
thinking
didn't catch that the
somebody
first episode
disappeared.
when I
And that got
watched it.
nailed home. And I was like, yes, cheating on his wife. Not, in like a nice way on that, but just saying, like,
Yeah.
thought that was there.
Yeah, I
And
was
then-
just glad that she disappeared too. Like that
was
was my
amazing.
second
Like-
amendment to that. Was like,
Yeah.
well, but it can't. I thought they were teasing that it was the wife because
Right.
she disappeared, but then we find out at the end of that episode she didn't.
No.
So in this case, it was like, well, did the person
It
he was
brutal.
fucking disappear?
I thought it was brutal that the baby disappears, and you're just like, what?
That was fucking awesome.
It just makes no sense on who disappears then.
That made me love the show.
Yeah.
That was the moment right there. The baby going, us not knowing.
That it's a random disappearance. Obviously, this little baby inside you has no right or wrong. It's
So
just a little
but it gives
baby.
her reason, finally. We
Yeah,
finally
on why she
fucking
left
get
the family.
Why she needed to
why
go
she
to the Guilty
snapped.
Remnants.
Why she snapped, basically, is what happened.
The baby just
The
disappeared.
baby disappeared in front of her goddamn eyes.
I mean, that
basically.
They
baby-
never showed the empty ultrasound.
You saw
No,
her face.
that
though.
was
We were
the
talking
best
about
part,
how
yeah.
subtle it was.
The best part was it stayed on her face. She was happy, happy, happy. They cut away. All these people are disappearing. They cut to her, and then she's like, kind
Just
of like
slightly
a little,
questioning.
like a little inquisitive, like what's going on with
But
the
it wasn't
ultrasound?
like a.
No, it was like my baby's gone. No, it was just like what is there?
Yeah, wait. Can you
What's
like,
happening?
put that thing back
Yeah.
on me? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
show
Like
the-
you want to
show me the baby again. Show me the baby again.
Yeah, but
'cause I
wouldn't
just-
that
I
thing
was
have
looking
to
at
have
it.
been left
It
on her
was.
stomach?
It was.
It
well,
was.
yeah.
I mean,
And
she
you
was
have to
there.
hold that wand up.
Yeah, that was the idea. Is that it was cut in between the montage. It was still there, and they were like, "This is what we're doing right now."
Yeah,
We're
but
showing
that
the
thing
baby.
doesn't just stay on.
Yeah,
you
because
like that.
well, she was holding it. The lady was.
it was a
because the lady walked away.
No, it was a cut between time, man. It was a cut between time. It was like all synchronous time on this.
Well, they were
happening,
cutting
this
to
happening,
different
No,
this
things.
because
happening.
Yeah.
when people
It
started
was that
screaming, the doctor said, "What was that?" And she walked away.
Oh shit!
So I guess Lori could have been holding it on her own
Get there,
stomach.
get there. That's probably not what happened at all.
But those things, those wands, have you ever done that before? Have you ever seen that happen? It's not something that just sticks on you. It's a wand that they go
Yeah, they have
over
to
your
put the
stomach.
gel on her stomach.
Yeah.
I've seen some
But
movies.
okay, well then, why would she look at the monitor otherwise?
Seen some movies.
What would be the implication of her looking at the monitor?
I think there was
If she couldn't have seen her stomach still, like
Well,
she would have
like
just
I'm
seen
saying,
an
maybe
empty
that
monitor.
thing, maybe she was holding it with the doctor. Maybe she was holding it too. I mean, I don't know.
Probably not. The creepy old. Oh. See, I love that part.
Did they say which one went? Which one disappeared?
Oh, did you even look and see which one disappeared?
I didn't.
You are not watching TV right.
We're watching the end segment here. Nora is cooking.
Did you
that.
think-
Watch. Let's wait for the cunt kid here.
Oh, she's a nice little girl.
No, she does it on purpose.
Do you think that Lori ate the grilled cheese after her family disappeared?
God damn it! I said 2 hands. Hello?
Aw, poor little girl.
Fuck her.
She doesn't know.
She's a dick. Look, that's how the paper towel roll got. the
Yeah, I
way
know.
it
That was a nice moment where I was like, "Oh, paper towel's empty now," and then I was like, "Oh, Garvey doing work. Garvey's doing work."
May as well end the episode with the end of the episode, right?
Oh,
I mean, I just wanted to get to the scene of the doctor.
Was
But-
anyone else kind of hoping that Garvey wouldn't have had that back tattoo when we saw him earlier? And I was like, "Oh, he's not going to have the tattoo
it's
yet."
a real tattoo.
I guess it is. Oh, he's inside of her. Oh, Lori. Looking
So
at
she's
the baby.
looking at the baby.
Looking at the
right
baby.
now.
Hands on the thing.
Nothing's moved.
She's
She's
got the
holding
hands
it.
on the thing.
She's
She had
holding
the
it.
hands on the thing. Yeah. Oh, what's happening over there?
Oh, they cut
Watch
away.
Watch this. Oh God! I thought that was genius.
The
God.
light coming off of the
light-
face.
The
yeah,
light that just disappeared.
I did not catch that.
She's
Man,
looking
I
to her
loved that.
left.
I loved that. For me, that made the fucking scene.
Yeah,
for
it was
me.
somebody in a green dress that was standing there a minute ago.
We'll call
She's
her.
gone.
Oh, so neither one of them were touching her, though.
They were holding hands.
Yeah, but neither
Oh,
one
no.
of them were touching the girl that disappeared, the person
Correct.
that disappeared.
No.
Can you go back to the circle where they were all the kids were standing there?
Where's
I want to see which kid disappeared.
I just said it was an
that's not
Asian
relevant.
girl with a green dress.
It was the Asian girl. Okay.
Oh.
Nora is now less angry and looking back at the thing. Come on, just get
Oh.
back to the fucking.
You're
Just trying to get to the doctor part here. This is not good listening.
your dumb children aren't so dumb now. Now you're.
She's like, thankfully, I can clean this up and it won't fucking spill on its own
Now
again.
I got 2 grilled cheese for me. Oh, I love that. Garvey's just like, where did you go
what?
with all of my abs? He's got a lot of abs.
Where did you go with all of my orgasm?
He's like, I really wanted to come.
See, he thinks he's losing his
Yeah,
shit
that
there.
was-
And then look, yes, the doctor's still there, and she looks back, and
Presumably her hands are still on
The doctor is
wands.
still there?
yeah, but very subtle.
And she's like, wait a minute. See? It was the double take. The double take. It was subtle, though.
It wasn't like, My baby's gone.
It was a subtle double take, dude. That was nice. And then the whole credits, silence. It was pretty awesome.
That was the episode. Next week we will be back with
Further analysis.
with further analysis on the whole series,
The whole season so far.
and
Get you ready for the finale.
yeah, finale in 2 weeks, guys.
Get us
so
ready for it. I'm excited.
Oh, sorry, I pulled a Jeremy there.
Whoop.
Said guys.
Guys.
Hey guys, we're talking to you guys.
Suck a dick.
Oh.
This is how to watch TV.
Weird.
Shut up.
Mongoloids is fine. I think it's fine.
Get out.
All these memories in my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind. I'm still a secret lemonade drinker.